Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to Tennis Manager 2023, episode number 13. We're at the end of the season, but we've got the World Cup first, and we've qualified for the first time. As one of our players, anyway, has qualified for the first time. Clarice Thurman, of course, our only one right now, so it's obvious that it's her, but she has made it to the junior level for the United States. Their apparently third selection out of 5. We've also reached that stage where we're reviewing goals and overall mostly satisfied for Clarice. It doesn't have to take hitting every goal, but you got to make sure that you get some of them. We completely achieve 3. We mostly achieve a 4th. Our ranking fell kind of right at the end. We needed top 750. We hit 743. Not doing any senior tournaments here at the end of the season. Saw things fall off a little bit, but we really improved our junior ranking right at the end. Being that I'm not the coach, the game just quickly simulated the entire week. So here's the results right behind me. Quarterfinals, US winning 2-0 against the number 2 seed Canada. That's good. And then also beating Japan 2-0 in the semis, and then losing out just barely to Australia in the finals 2-1. But looking at the records now, Clarice, 3 times she competed and won all 3. So a 3-0 record for her. Great start. A finals appearance as a 9 seed, I think, is fantastic. Or 9th ranked, I suppose, nation. Not necessarily a 9 seed, only 8 made it, so we wouldn't have been a 9 seed, but you get the point, right? Clarice, US versus Canada. 6-3, 6-1 against the Canadian player, so there was her first appearance. Then in the semifinals, again, Thurman picked for the singles. She wins that one. 4-6, 3-6 to her advantage. So straight sets in both appearances up to that point. And then in the finals, the single was again Thurman selected, and she wins again in straight sets. So that one match win in the final, it was Thurman. She wins 6-3, 6-3 in each of those against Maholka. Maholka, somebody we've been up against of late and had struggled with a bit, I want to say. So that's awesome. That is awesome to see. During this period, Thurman in the juniors went from 27th up to 16th. It was so good to see that progress. Better prize money as well. 5 tournaments. We won one of them. We had an 84% win rate during that stretch, and of course we had that deep run in the US Open Junior. Really happy to see a resurgence, because we had a real tough, probably 6 months there, and great way to finish the season. But not competing at the senior level, just one tournament and only one win in that one tournament, and it was a small one, saw us fall off a little bit. And I think the best news of the entire year, our annual finance report. So if we're taking this as our period with the new year starting in December, not January, we came out with a positive balance. We have 1.1K. Positive. Huge difference from a year ago where we, saw a $180,000 deficit. We were able to invest some money with our cash injection that not only cut into that deficit. I expected us to have something like a 100K or an 80K deficit this year. I didn't expect us to instantly flip that into, what was that, minus 15,000 a month to neutral. I don't think we're going to be plus 15K in the coming year, but if we're plus 8K or plus 10K a month, we're going to slowly make gains, which means at some point, possibly before the turn of the year, we're going to have enough money in the bank to make the next increase and not have to rely just on that cash injection any longer. I'm really excited about where we're at financially. Let's hope and make sure, though, that we still manage to get a significant haul from the board here in about a week. Gosh, I was proud of our performance, and now I'm not. Boys, US won the title. Men's, women's, US won all three of them. The only title that they didn't secure was the junior girls, where we lost in the final. I was proud that we had made it to the final based on, being the ninth ranked nation. Now I'm rather disappointed as we're the only losers of the bunch. Now, Corey Goff has already achieved a number one ranking by the end of the season. Obviously, in real life, she's an up-and-comer who's just gotten better and better and better. I want to say she's into the top 10 now, but yeah, here we are, 2 years into the game, and she's number one in the world. And still under 21. One piece of good news is we have made progress in our reputation. We started out as a one tennis ball rated academy, way behind. I mean, the next academy is already 3 tennis balls. But we're at 1.5 now. We achieved that at the beginning of the year with the infrastructure upgrades that we made. You can see scouting-wise, we're at 2, team, training, and medical all at 1.5. The business side at just 1. Definitely lagging behind. That'll have to come. Long-term business is the best financial. In Tennis Manager 22, you wanted to go straight to those business upgrades. Here, you need a little reputation for it to be financially beneficial, and that's why we haven't invested there yet. But once we kind of get the others going a little bit and bring that reputation up a little bit, then the business center is the one where you're going to rake in the money and definitely want to turn your investment directionally towards that after a little while. Board contribution came in $292,000. And now we've got 290.9 in the bank, as we did have our monthly expenses also kick in. But what a great start as we're going to be heading into the new year now. 2nd of December, we've had a week off and we're back to things. We're going to have to start that discussion with Thurman. Let's start there and then we'll go spend our money. Okay, she's starting quite happy. That's a good place to be. We're at 2 and a 3.5 to 4.5 sort of range. This is going to bump us to 8th in the junior rankings to start the year as another group ages out. And unlike last year where we jumped up significantly and were in over our head, this year I don't think we are. I think Clarice is now in a better place. She is a top 10 junior entering this season, and I think should and could be fighting for that. She's 2nd in the US, so she's not even the top 1. And meanwhile, in the seniors, there are retirements. We've moved up to 710, which is just outside of that one, top 100. I don't think she's going to be happy with it, but I'm going to ask her to just stick with being in the top 750 for now. Oh, she's really upset about that. Ouch. Okay. We have to push 500 now. I was trying to go conservative so we can focus on her juniors one more year here before we start shifting to the seniors, but not much of a choice now. She's pushing, in a direction I don't want to go. Qualify is the minimum, so we're going to aim for qualify, and I don't think that is doable. Win one title at 80 level or above. Can we drop this down? How far can we drop? We can really drop it down. Let's aim for a semi-final. She's not happy at all, but she took it. Top 100 we could definitely do. No junior ranking objectives at all, so she's turning her focus to the senior rankings already, where I was trying to keep one more year in the juniors. So Clarice, we are going to have to do a little bit more on the senior circuit this year. Those goals will be achievable, but her morale for the moment is bad. I was going to aim for high junior goals. For $208,000, the balneotherapy room is a hefty increase, though it does come with a hefty cost as well. But at $29.1 thousand, that's a massive gain on a monthly basis, and it's only going to take 2 months to build. So we are going to spend almost all of it right away, but we're going to see a huge increase starting in a couple of months in terms of our finances. But we still have 82,000, so I don't think we're going to be done just yet. In fact, we could add another 6K by adding the yoga and meditation room for a very limited cost, and another 7.5K bonus for 48,000 to upgrade our play and co-connected courts to level 1. That leaves us with 8,000, but 3 upgrades on the way that collectively will push us on paper to about 40k. We know that that's not actually going to be the case in terms of the amount that we actually bring in, but it should, I would think, bring us to somewhere around plus 20k a month. And that's going to, starting in roughly 2 months anyway, that's going to really turn our finances into something else, because we're going to be able to make other upgrades a lot sooner. We're not the only higher ranked junior that's decided a junior 300 tournament at the start of the year is a good place to get your feet wet. We're only a 3 seed for this one, despite being the 8th ranked junior out there. So we're going to have our hands full. However, the 4th ranked first seed here, she's already out. So that does give us an increased chance of progressing well. Speaking of progressing well, it's been 5 weeks since we started training, and the first 3 weeks of that you train quite hard. So Thurman has made significant progress since the start of the year. We'll check in on that after this tournament, but also 2 of the 3 upgrades are now done. I had a positive balance this month for the first time, even though only 1 of those upgrades was done at the time, and so our funds are gradually increasing, enough so where we can invest into more infrastructure. I could start investing into more staff, at least a little bit. I mean, we really need to increase the finances a lot further yet. It's not just about breaking even, right? We need to start making money on a regular basis that we can reinvest to increase the rate of everything, and not just like, oh, we made it through a neutral year and here's some money, go spend it. We need to be able to continually spend it and not immediately turn ourselves back into a neutral balance as we go forward. So might not spend on staff just yet, but maybe a little bit so that we can get a scout and start searching to get a second member brought into the club. First round opponent was ranked 35th. Put up a good fight, took us 3 sets to win. Second round opponent, Iyengar's ranked 26th now, and we've been up against her a couple times, beat her both times, and make that all 3 times we've faced each other we've won. On paper, our quarterfinal opponent was the easiest one we've been up against yet, but she certainly put up a fight as well. I'm glad that we've managed to get through all 3 and we're into the semifinals. We've never won a 300 level tournament before. Are we in for a chance now that we are that year older and number of players are no longer in the opposition force anymore? We definitely have a chance to make the final, as the semifinal opponent is the lowest ranked one we've had throughout. But it's the 7th and 10th ranked juniors, 2nd and 4th seed here. So 3 out of the top 4 seeds are still in this thing. Rara has beaten us before and has beaten us again. We've only played each other 2 times throughout our history, and we've managed to lose both. Rara comes on strong and is going to see the final. We were plus 14 in winners, but unforced errors were ugly. Minus 24. Morale and shape were both bad entering that 300 level tournament. Very next week, I've got 2 here, and before we kind of go 1 on 1 off for the early portion of this season, we've got a 7 seed, so we're in good shape there. 719th current ranking. We've got a qualifier that we go up against first. The form is now better. The morale is still just fair. Morale is improved from where it was. It's not abysmal, but fair is definitely not good morale. So Thurman is going to have to build some momentum, getting some wins to improve that morale. She's got a chance here to see the quarterfinal based on opposition for the first couple of rounds. Let's hope that she can at least reach that quarterfinal here, and then it would be really nice if she could even, get one further to help with the morale side of things. First round was easy. Second round was tough, but we did still actually win in 2 sets, 7-6, 6-3, plus 4 in winners, equal on unforced errors. It was pretty close. I do get my wish, though. We are going to play in the quarterfinal, and we've got a weaker opponent. After a forfeit there has set us up nicely to see a semifinal where the 2 seed, ranked 540th, awaits us there and would definitely offer a pretty big threat. But I'd be happy with a semifinal. I'd be very happy with a semifinal. It's rookie level 10. We're talking about the lowest that's out there. We're in the quarterfinal, and we've still only picked up 2 points. So this is not, anything special happening here. But reaching a semifinal would be a good start to our senior season. Ooh, 6-0, 6-1. On the pro circuit, this will be our second semifinal. We had one semifinal in the second tier tournaments last year. We only had 5 tournaments throughout the year. We're definitely going to be having more than 5 this year to help that ranking come up a bit. But meanwhile, we'll definitely have fewer junior tournaments this year. No 60s, no 100s. We won both of those last year. We won one 200 level tournament, just 3 tournaments. That's it last year or over the past calendar year. Anything above that was winless. We had that single final, of course, in the Slam, in the Open Junior. So this year we'll be competing 300, 500 in Slams only. At least that's what I'm expecting. I'm not expecting to do any 200s, though we made quite a few finals and semifinals in that area last year. But I think this year we need to be competing in those 300s and beyond. The 1 seed, 339th ranked player, already into the final, awaiting either the 2 or the 7. We are the lowest seeded player, the lowest ranked player to make the semis. This is probably our end point, but it's only 540th, the Chinese player that we're going up against here. We may have a chance. If we make the final, we'll definitely do that one live. It's a small tournament. This is not a big deal. We'll simulate this round. 6-2, 6-3. We will play in the finals, +6 on winners, -4 on unforced errors. Short rallies were our friend this time, not the long ones. Big jump in rank, though. 200 spots better. Almost 400 spots better than us as we enter this final. She's heavy favorites, but hey, we've done well to get to the final. 6 points for that. 3.3K for that. It's not a huge payout. Again, smallest level pro tournament. We've got a shot at taking our first ever senior tournament victory. Even if it's at the smallest level, it's still a victory, but our opponent is 12-1 on the season so far. Looks like she's ready to dominate. It's her 3rd tournament. She's already won 1. She's looking to make it 2. She's playing much smaller tournaments than what her ranking should have her playing at, but she's starting the season looking to gain some confidence, and while we're looking to put up a little bit more of a challenge at the start of the year here and build that confidence as time goes on. Good start to this one. I've scored points a couple times already, leading 30-15 here and looking to break in this opening set, but unforced error there. Gosh, that was on the line. Little more out than in. And then that one's out. 2 unforced errors, and now we're trailing. And can't quite reach that one. We lose the opening game. Oh, wow. Nice return. Right on the line. Yeah, she's looking pretty good. Nice one there, though. Based on this first game plus, I think we'll be competitive. We got one, though. We will have one game here. Speed up this first set, see how we're doing. Both players are thrilled. Both players have good stamina. I've worked at the very end of the season and the beginning of this new season. I spent some time working on Thurman's stamina. It's up to an 8. So it was at a 5 a while back. We had pushed it to a 6, and then it was sitting at a 6. Just from maybe November till now January, I've seen that increase to an 8 with 4 or 5 sessions dedicated towards that. Otherwise, I'm working currently on her physicality. There's a lot of 11s in there. Stamina, I'm happy with an 8 for the time being. I just wanted to see some improvement. We're at 3-3, by the way, so she is not taking it to us. We are remaining competitive so far. But anyway, back to the point here. We a lot of 11s. Speed is the only thing that's at a 12. In the physical department, I'm trying to kind of push all of those to 12 or 13 before we then focus on some technicals, or maybe even some mental attributes at that point. But yeah, I want to get the physical set, other than stamina, up to a 13. I'd like to get that stamina in the not too distant future up a couple more points, up to about a 10. Doesn't matter as much in the women's game when we're only playing 3 sets. But the longer things go on, the more it's problematic, which is why I've put a couple points into it. Right now they level up fairly easy, but the higher it's going to get, the longer it's going to take, and it's just not as necessary as some others. And we started well. It was 3-3, but we just lost the first set 6-3. Second set underway. Speed it up again here. Like I said, we're good enough to be competitive with her, but it's gone exactly as I figured it would. We hung in there for a while, but she beat us rather comfortably in the end. She only ended up having to break us once. We only got to serve 4 times. We are getting to serve first this time, though, so at least there's that. But even if she only ends up having to break us once, they're still looking at a 6-4 loss in the set. I haven't looked terribly close on a game-by-game basis, but what I'm seeing is when she's serving, she's pretty comfortable. She wins quite comfortably. We're not challenging much. When we serve, it's a mix. Some games are comfortable, other games are definitely close, and ultimately she only has to take one from us to beat us, and that's the downside. The good news here is we're a little more on that front foot, having a little bit better chance because we got to serve first. Something that's just an absolute rarity in this game. Time and time again, the opponent always serves first. Our name is almost never first on that list, but here we are at 4-4, chance to lead 5-4, and we've got a chance in this set. She has not managed to break us yet through 5 games served. I haven't really threatened her at all, though, but we do lead. We do have a slender advantage. Had a slender advantage. I'm not quite sure how we went from 15-30 to 40-30 in 1 second. I didn't see how she scored twice on what looked like 1 ball hit, but I do have things quite sped up, so clearly I just missed it. Here we are at 5-5 and with service, and she's in control and beats us. So we go all the way to 5-5. We go all the way down the wire on that second set in a 5-5 situation with service, and then she finally takes control and breaks us, and all of a sudden we're on the verge of losing the match. Just like that. Gotta say, I'm pleased with this performance against somebody ranked 400 spots above us. To be that competitive, that close in those 2 sets. But yeah, we lose. That first senior win will have to wait. It's gonna have to wait a little bit longer. But that's gonna be a decent points haul. That's gonna move us up a little bit in the rankings. And just like that, the morale is fixed. She's happy. The shape is excellent. Physical condition, she just competed all week. But we have a week until our next tournament, and we'll take care of that. That'll be up to at least 90%. And there you go. We've started the season. Started a little bit nervous with some disagreement on goals. But through a short period of time, we've already rectified that situation and put Clarice in a good position for the season to come. Now, the only thing is trying to achieve those goals. We've already managed to get into the top 100 for the US. We've already managed to climb 100 spots in a single tournament. Small tournament. Getting another 150 I think will be easy enough. The only downside is I'm going to have to focus a little bit more on her senior circuit this year than I will on the junior circuit, which is not what I wanted. I really wanted to. We did 5 a year ago. I would have been happy with 6 or 7 this year. I think to meet the needs of getting into that top 500, we're probably going to have to do closer to 10. And then Grand Slams and, I don't know how many tournaments we ended up doing in a year. 20? 10 of each? Looks to be where we're headed. We're also qualifying for a 280. We're getting to a semifinal and an 80 plus. Those are going to be a little bit harder. I think I've set this goal up in a reasonable state that I think we can get to 80. I've got to, at some point, push us to get into those. I wanted to push the rank up a little bit first, start with the softer ones, build that confidence, and then start trying to attack the lowest level here. I don't think this is going to happen for us, though. That is going to do it for this episode, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.